Well, I can't say that's quite what I was expecting from a Resident Evil intro. Usually they're a bit more somber than that, not with some... I don't know what genre that would be, but it's certainly has a higher beat than I was expecting. But obviously this is Resident Evil 0. This is the original GameCube release, which is the only version that I own. And this is a Halloween special. Basically, I'll be playing through this first episode as if I were playing it normally, but it'll be all that'll exist on the channel for now. More on the for now part later. But right now, it's all that you're going to be worrying about. And this is my first time playing through the game. This is actually my very first time booting up the game at all. So, that said, I'm not completely unfamiliar with the game because, while I haven't played Resident Evil 0 itself, I still know of, like, the major events in the scenario that goes on through it from playing Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles, which has, like, an abridged version of this. Now, I might want to look at the controls here, because, well, I have played a Resident Evil on GameCube before. It was just a port of Resident Evil 3, so it probably plays a little bit differently, I would guess. I don't know what trace means. This should... I'd guess this controls mostly the same as a Resident Evil Remake. Yeah, it looks like it does. And if not, I can figure it out. As long as I know how to shoot, know how to aim and shoot, that's the most important part, which would appear to be L and then probably A, I would guess. Action, yeah, so it would be A. Z is map, because that's always the very convenient map button. Switch characters is X, status is Y. Good to know. And I can change my controls, but I don't want to. Just go through all the settings real quick. Nope, ain't messing with that today. Alright. So it looks like we're good to actually start. Normal.
Resident Evil 0. A Midwestern town in America, Raccoon City. A solitary island far off in the sea, Rockfort Island. An island that would become the second Raccoon City, Sheena Island. There are still many unanswered questions about these seemingly unrelated yet intensely traumatic events. Though it is believed that the international enterprise Umbrella was somehow involved, little is known as to the origin of this faceless corporation. When was it established? By whom? And how was the T-virus created? To uncover the truth, we must delve deeper into the events which transpired in the beginning, before the mansion incident.
Leave it up to me.
Really?
Do you think so too?
Yeah.
Do about it.
Should hold off for a while.
But I wonder how those R&D people would react to this.
It began as a simple investigation of some bizarre murders in the suburbs of Raccoon City. Nothing in our training could ever have prepared us for the nightmare that ensued. We never stood a chance.
What's going on? Engine failure. Emergency landing. Oh.
Check the current position and investigate the surrounding area.
Captain, look! Captain!
What happened?
Court order for transportation. Prisoner Billy Cohen, ex-lieutenant, 26 years old. Court-martialed and sentenced to death July 22nd. Prisoner is to be transferred to the Regathon base for execution.
Those poor soldiers. They were good men just doing their jobs, and that scum murdered them and escaped.
All right, everyone, let's separate and survey the area. Our friend is brutal and ruthless. Keep your guard up.
A train?
Well, we're actually in the game now. And that intro... Alright, first of all, can I just say, they very much improved their work on the 3D models and pre-rendered cutscenes between this game and the Resident Evil 1 remake, which they came out around the same time, actually, didn't they? Though I'm guessing I'll be blunt, worst looking models in this version compared to Resident Evil 1 remake is because this game was originally going to be an N64 title before they moved development on over to the GameCube. But also in that intro we get glimpses at some of the only things I know about this game. A whole bunch of leeches everywhere, which make me very uncomfortable. You play as Rebecca, Billy Cohen, and this train. That's basically all I remember, especially this train part, because the way Umbrella Chronicles, what did that say? I wasn't even reading. Luggage lies strewn about the cabin. The seats are stained red with blood. Oh, good. But in Umbrella Chronicles, the way it works is that it divides it up into 3 main sections: the train and then 2 later sections. And I mainly, in that game, you have to like grind out weapons for points to upgrade them, or grind out levels for points to upgrade weapons, rather. I phrased that completely wrong. And then also to collect ammo for the weapons. And so I spent a lot of time grinding the very first level in the game, which is the train level of this, because it was by far the easiest and one of the shortest, especially compared to the later, or the other 2 Resident Evil 0. It's all the same. The other 2 Resident Evil 0 levels, which are a pretty big increase in difficulty, which I think actually lines up with the rest of the game from what I've heard. So it's locked. Okay, I was about to say, it is interesting that they actually have like a little bit of animation to go with the locking thing. They typically don't do that in Resident Evil. They typically just like freeze Rebecca in place like that. But you can see there's still like motion going on the screen. They usually don't do that. They just like lock up the frame whenever text like this comes up. The door to the dining car is locked. You can't get in. Now I think like a train section like this is actually a really cool. It's all the same. Oh, I pressed it again. Sorry. I think a train concept like this is really cool. It's very different compared to how the locales of the Resident Evil games usually are. Also in that intro, they mentioned Sheena Island, which is weird, because isn't that from the Dead Aim games, I think? It's from one of the games that were... Well, I guess they didn't consider it a spinoff, but it sort of got relegated to a spinoff before. But hey, they mentioned it, so it's sort of plot relevant, I guess. I thought it was just like non-canon stuff, but hey, they still go for it. And of course, you have to have this door opening animation. That, like, the actual animation there is really smooth, though. It reminds me a lot of how Luigi's Mansion handles it.
This is Officer Chambers from STARS Bravo team. Please identify yourself. Is someone there?
The government has announced that it has set out to of our province. But as of 2 years ago, when several funds were set up, the local government stepped in and took over.
Oh, they're throwing me right in. That's bad. Because I'm never good at this section. I always die. And I'm going to die here. Oh, run! Run! Rebecca, cooperate. Okay. Okay, we survived that. I didn't bother checking how much ammo I have, though. That could serve as an issue. But since I am doing this blind, you get to see how I play these Resident Evil games blind when I first start. Which, and the answer is not well. Because, yeah. I wasted a shot there. I could have had 13 bullets. But let's look at our Samurai Edge. And they actually have the 3D models in this game. I thought that was only in remaking Code Veronica that they had that. But no, it's also in here. I like that. I really wish they had that in more parts of the series. But at least up through 4, the games I mentioned are the only ones. They reverted back to like just a flat 2D image for 2 and 3. And then, of course, I don't know about the remake for 2. It kind of doesn't exist yet. Or in a released form. The standard equipment for STARS officers, it uses 9mm parabellum rounds. Yeah. Basic. Handgun ammo, I mean, it's not going to be anything interesting. And then in Resident Evil 4, it does have a 3D model, but it just spins around automatically. You can't move it around independently. Holds 9x19 parabellum rounds for use with handguns. Basic. Well, at least I know I have some ammunitions. We can't get a profile on Rebecca, though, can we? Oh, that's just the options that I was looking at before. I doubt we have any fire. We do. Player manual. Note that button names may differ depending on the controller type selected. With Y button, you cannot view the screen in the following circumstances. Doing event movies, that's a weird way to describe cutscenes. When taking damage. When weapon is readied. The following functions are available on the screen. Equip weapon, use item, sorry for the voice crack, view map, view file, leave item, etc. Oh yeah, that's the other thing about this game that I know. It doesn't have item boxes, so instead, when you need to put an item, quote unquote, put an item away, you literally just drop it on the ground where you stand. I don't quite know how that works, because not the whole game takes place on this train, but I'll find out in due time. Select the map item on the status screen. You can also press the Z button during play. You do not have a map for an area if you can only see locations already visited. Blue room, your current room. It's not something they give you a key. They usually don't do that. They just sort of leave you to figure it out on your own. Like, I didn't know till, like, one of my several times after playing Resident Evil 2. Like, after my second time at least. And that's of, like, after I played it a lot. I'll just leave it at that. But in Resident Evil 2, I didn't know that they actually color-coded the doors depending on which keys you had, but they do. But I didn't know that because, 1, I'm unobservant, and 2, they don't give you, like, a legend, I guess I should say, to not be confusing. No color locations you have not yet visited. Red door, locked door, yellow door, unlocked door. You know, something like that would have been useful in the remake. Why couldn't they have added that in? When you view the map, you can press the item list by pressing the A button. The following information is available. Left items. Okay, that is actually really useful. Location of left items. Pushing objects, some objects. I know all this stuff. Yeah. You turn towards the nearest enemy with a currently equipped weapon. Good to know. It has auto aim. And you can quick turn. You can also use the D-pad to move, but I don't like doing that. I prefer the control stick. It feels a bit more natural. It feels like you can, like, turn while moving forward a bit more easily, instead of it being a bit more stilted with, like, traditional tank controls, but hey. Did we already miss? No, we got this from a cutscene. We couldn't have missed a file. That's probably just player guide 2 since it's numbered. Court order for transportation number. Billy Cohen. Former second lieutenant Marine Corps age. He's my height, surprisingly. And also my weight. Maybe I'm giving out too much information about myself, but I shouldn't weigh. I mean, I think they usually screw up stuff in conversions because, like, because like obviously these were probably originally made in centimeters and that stuff because that's what Japan uses. But like, I don't think there's that many Marines that would be my weight and height because I'm not exactly fit for military combat. It's not quite in my build. Convicted of first-degree murder, court-martialed, and sentenced to death by the... That's that. 703rd Military Tribunal. Usually you don't move the ending letters of a number's designation or whatever at the... You don't put a space in between? That's weird. Sentenced to be carried out upon arrival. Samuel Reagan, Commander, Dunnell Marine Base. Anyway, that's all we have here. Don't have a partner, so no point in checking that. Look at that interesting map. But let's continue on where we'll probably find either some more zombies or leeches, and I don't like either of those. The rain outside is quickly turning into a downpour. Are there going to be dogs? This looks like a place where dogs would jump out at me. Let me turn down the volume just in case, because I don't like loud crashes in... I still want volume, but I don't like loud crashes. It bothers me. Makes me jump. That's one of the biggest things I don't like about horror games. Okay, I thought I was about to do it there. Loud noises suddenly coming into my ears or loud things jumping in my face, especially if they come together. Ugh. I mean, like, that's a jump scare, but I still don't like it. I hate it when stuff does that. Passenger's diary. Orders came from the boss today. Looks like we are in charge of investigating the remains of the Arclay Mountains laboratory. We're moving in 2 groups with us in the initial group assigned to start checking what's left of the abandoned experiment. It's the same with... Those numbers don't mean anything to me, game. There's still so much we don't know about the responses to the crustacean T-virus. Sounds like you're getting ahead of yourself. I don't think that comes into play until Revelations. I mean, it's not the same, but I know. Also, aren't you supposed to capitalize the T in T-virus? Be consistent, game. There's a lot of interesting research left. Depending on the species and nurturing conditions, only minute doses of T bring about remarkable changes in solidity, size multiplication of internal toxins, and brain development. But the sudden development of the shell results in a corresponding fragility. Certain areas become exceedingly weak. Problematically, one of those areas is the head carapace. This lab we are going to... Were they pursuing the same research? Sorry, I don't... Sometimes I have trouble with reading. It's also late at night. I'm recording late at night because I want to have the proper atmosphere, but it also means I'm a little loopy. It would certainly help to find data and samples that would help us in our research. Wait, did that skip July? June. July? June. You waited a whole year to write in your diary again, sir. Unless... No, they just... They need to work on their translation a little bit. I've already seen several bits of sloppiness here. The day is finally approaching. I'm growing more anxious. The Raccoon City newspaper and TV stations are full of reports about the bizarre murders in the suburbs. It can't be the virus, can it? If it is, no, I can't think of that now. I have to concentrate on the investigation and make sure it goes smoothly. Now let me... June 19th. Yeah. Okay. I know this game had a long development, but you gotta make sure your translation is good. Also, did that say something? This poor guy must have been attacked in his sleep. His body is covered in slime. Ew. I didn't even notice there was a dude there. It was a finely tailored suit. There was nothing in the pockets. Rebecca was going to search him. I mean, she is an officer. She's allowed to do that. Well, I don't know if she's allowed to search a dead dude. Probably for evidence's sake, but still might not be the most cool thing. I don't know. I don't know if you have any rights to being searched if you're dead. That's one of the things that didn't come up in criminal procedure. What's in here? Oh, this beautiful music. That's good news for me. There doesn't seem to be anything of use. But if we come over here, there is an ink ribbon. Oh, I could just use it right away. I mean, I can't use that, but I was wondering what that third option was. Also, I didn't check out what Rebecca's personal item was. So let's do that. I mean, I didn't quite mean to examine this, but again, my brain isn't working quite right. Using this on a typewriter will allow you to record your progress. Also, you can zoom in on it that well. Oh well. Is Rebecca just not going to be concerned about a typewriter being on a train? It seems like a typewriter would be the worst thing, because, like, there might not be many outlets for a computer, but still, I feel like the shaking of a train would make the letters be a little less precise, because it would move all the machinery around while it's trying to type. So what is this again? A set of tools used to mix and prepare medicines. Oh. And it opens up. Well, that's useless to us right now, for the purposes of this video. It looks like I'm at about 22 minutes or so, so I'm not going to be... I'll go on a little bit longer. Why not? Because I want to see more of this game. I'm not going to spend it reading a file right now, though. That's for my own time, not for you. I've wasted enough time as it is. Half this video has just been me reading files and cutscenes. Not reading cutscenes, but you know what I mean. This also looks like a place dogs would be. I don't like it. Okay. It's locked and can't be opened. The door reads conductor's office. Okay, maybe I'm the one with the bad translation in my head. There's a card reader here. It looks like the door will open if you have the right card. But I was wondering how they would... Now, something's going to happen once I grab that, because I know how these games work. And, I'll just finish my thought real quick. I was wondering how they would have, like, a train which is largely linear. Sort of, you know, have that traditional, not maze style, but non-linear progress that, Resident Evil maps tend to have, where you're sort of just running all over the place. And I can see how they're doing it. It's actually really interesting. Alright, but let's grab the item. This train employee's corpse has been brutally torn apart. He's holding something. Take the train key. Yes, and let's trigger the cutscene.
Billy. Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
You're the prisoner that was being transferred for execution. You were with those soldiers outside.
Oh, I see. You're with stars. Well, no offense, honey, but your kind doesn't seem to want me around. So, I'm afraid our little chat time is over.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know. Edward! Are you alright? What happened?
It's worse than... We can't. You must be careful, Rebecca. The forest is full of zombies and monsters.
Zombies and monsters.
I knew there would be dogs. And loud crashes like that are exactly what bother me. Oh god. Oh no. Ah, usually No, no. Let's run. That's not running, Rebecca. Let's back ourselves into a corner over here because that's a smart thing to do when you're being chased by dogs. And real quick, let's reload on this because I don't want to be caught having to reload. Glad I did continue because it would have been bad to miss that. Pat on this way. Dog! Ugh. No. Usually if you shoot him once, you can sort of combo him, but I guess not in Resident Evil 0. You see, that's good. That's what I wanted. They also usually give you a knife, and I don't have one. What was that key for again? Also, Rebecca, why were you so unbelieving that there were zombies and monsters around? You kind of already saw them. At least some zombies. There's something written on the tag. Tag reads dining car. Oh, we gotta go back. Should I save? Should I save? Oh, I did kill that dog. Edward. You were so happy just a few hours ago. He's holding something. Good thing I checked. Ooh, handgun ammo. I'll certainly grab that. Now... You didn't quite get to see how bad I am at these games usually, but... Even though I love them, I'm still bad at them, but... Hey, you got to see a little bit of a taste. You'll get... Well, I could go on a little bit longer. What? Okay, this is the safe room. I was about to say, why am I back in here? The answer is because this is where I need to be. But let's check... Should I check the file thing? I'll read it. I'll skim it quick. I won't read it aloud because there's not really much need to do that. So, I'm going to be quiet here trying to read. Oh gee, I wonder what that second word on the third line could be. Okay, it actually is interesting how they use the smudges to actually good effect there. Because you could read the rest, but not those words towards the bottom. I actually think they might have misspelled one of the words there that they were going for, going off of my knowledge. The rest is torn and unreadable. And it is interesting how they actually, like, what am I trying to say? Like, it got more illegible towards the end where they actually cut it off because they said it was illegible. Makes sense. We'll heal up a little there. I forgot to examine it, but it doesn't matter. We can save real quick, and I'll just cut the video off at some point. There was a typewriter, record data. Yes. Slot A. And it does seem like it'll save, each of these files will appear differently on the memory card. First of all, let's drop this. No need to carry it around. We can leave it in a save room. Leave the ink ribbon. And it still shines. That's convenient. But, it'll probably save separately and eat up a lot of storage space, because that's what happened. I mentioned I had a port of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis on this, and that's exactly what it did. Though the file sizes were a bit smaller, because it was saving PlayStation data in effect, not GameCube data. But let's go through here. This is where the zombies are, aren't they? You turned your head towards me. Oh, they're coming. I probably should have run past him. Rebecca, you couldn't really shake him off, could you? Uh-oh. Let's run back and try to reload the weapon. This seems like a high traffic area, so let's... Oh! I can probably run around these guys, but I'm not that good. I've said it before, and... No, go back down. Yeah, I really am bad at this. Rebecca is 100% dead. Stay down. She's probably an orange. Oh, she's in danger. Even better. She is not that strong. I'm starting to see why you weren't in any games after Resident Evil 0. But we can actually go up the stairs. I didn't notice that there were stairs earlier. Nothing over here. So yeah, we could have done this earlier and probably have gotten some items before the zombies woke up, but hey. Or did we? Some kind of egg, a puddle of slime has formed around it. Well, before anything else, let's take us this herb, and I could have just used it there, but you know, there's an antique style phone. The line has been cut, rendering it useless. Because you can't have nice things in horror games. I'm not going near that. That'll kill me, and I'm only back up to orange. Did I reload? I did not. Continue back down the stairs, because that looks like stuff I don't want to deal with right now. So if I die, I'll probably just end the video there. You know, sort of like I should have with Symphony of the Night, but with that Halloween special, but it didn't quite happen that way. I mean, I still didn't play on the file there, so I didn't break my word, but I still played afterwards just so you would have visuals while I finished up my thought.
This is Rebecca. Over. Enrico! Hello! Can you read me? Please respond.
Rebecca, I can hear you. Now listen up. We've obtained detailed information on the fugitive from a document found in the wrecked wagon. Billy Cullen killed as many as 23 people. Over.
23 people.
We have also confirmed that he was institutionalized, so keep your guard up. Can you hear me, Rebecca? Over. Stay alert, Rebecca. You wouldn't think twice before killing you.
Enrico! Captain! Hello? Hello!
All alone in the middle of a raining train. Oh, this is where we were before, wasn't it? This is where we first entered, but there's going to be some zombies that are going to come up and kill me, I'm pretty sure. So, oh no, the car's back there. It's locked. But something I forgot to mention earlier. Why did Rebecca just like shout out, I can shoot you, you know? First of all, you can't just, well, if you believe someone is a murderer and they're trying to get leaving. You don't seem to need this key anymore. Throw it away. Yes. Good thing these Resident Evil characters are always psychic and they know when to throw keys away. So what zombies are going to be in here?
It's gonna be dangerous from here on in. Why don't we cooperate?
Cooperate with you?
Listen, little girl, if you haven't noticed, there's some pretty freaked out things on this train. And I, for one, want to get out of here. I don't think we stand a chance doing it alone.
You expect me to trust you, a wanted felon? I don't need your help. I can handle this on my own. And don't call me little girl.
All right, Miss Do-It-Yourself. What should I call you?
The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Well then, Rebecca, why don't you go and try while I wait here?
So, is Billy not going to be helping us? Alright. First of all, Billy is probably one of the least intimidating first names that you could choose for a dude, but whatever. Also, notice the supervisors when switch off the automatic doors after ensuring all staff have vacated the car. The main automatic door power switch is located on the roof of the 5th car. Inspection. What's the 5th car? Did you number them for me? Inspections will take place when the train is garaged. After inspections are complete, use the ladder at the rear of the second floor of the dining car. So that would be here. Okay, so that didn't tell me much right now. Much that'll be relevant for the video. One thing I was going to say is I'm not sure if military dudes are allowed to have arms on their tattoos, because one of my coworkers, though she's she's not. Billy would be a former Marine, but she, and it might have different rules. The girl I'm referring to, she's an Army ROTC, and she said she had rules against getting tattoos, but she was more talking about like her lower arm, more towards her hand, whereas Billy's is mainly on his upper arm that would usually be covered. I still don't know the rules about that. And like I was hinting at, Army and Marines obviously have different rules too. So, what's going to kill me up here? Something bad.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
Now I remember these dudes from... Oh, God. I remember these dudes from... It's locked from the other side. Just like all horror things. But I remember these dudes from, not Outbreak, from Umbrella Chronicles, and I hate them. So... Oh!
Are you okay? Who is that guy?
What's going on? Who's controlling the train?
Go and check out the first engine car. Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
All right. But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Fine. Now take these with you. If you find anything, give me a call, all right?
Oh, so now we get to character switching, the other aspect of Resident Evil 0 that I know about. I don't know much about it, but I know it exists. A system that enables you to control the two lead characters, Rebecca and Billy, and use their different abilities to progress through the game. The characters you currently control is called the character you currently control is called the main character, partner character, C-stick. To control the partner character, generally moves independently. Selecting partner on the status screen allows you to assign instructions to the character. Both characters move independently. Partner moves with the main character. I'll probably be doing that. It's just like Sheva before Sheva even existed, except probably with less janky AI, because you can actually control it. Partner attacks automatically. Idle partner will not attack. I mean, if they have something to attack, it's probably best that they do try to attack it, unless you're like planning something, but I don't know if you can do that or not. Switch characters as needed. Exchanging items. When your partner character is nearby, you can exchange items on the status screen. Has the following attributes: can combine herb-related items, which all other characters can do in the Resident Evil series. So apparently Billy's just not smart with pharmaceuticals. Is weak defensively. We learned that. Can use a mixing set to combine chemicals. Billy, a former Marine, has the following attributes. Cannot combine... is strong in combat and can push large objects. Definitely what you first go to when you need a Marine. You should always keep an eye on their condition. Partner character being attacked in a different room will call for help over the radio. If your partner does call, go to help as quickly as possible. That's actually pretty cool that they actually have that all rendering in the game. Some puzzles cannot be solved by only one character when you are stuck trying to... Okay. Alrighty. So... Oh, that was a weird effect.
Okay,
What? No!
Roger.
Okay. So here's the deal. Well, first of all, what gun is this? Standard Army issue handgun. I mean, it looks like uses 9mm parabellum rounds. Well, it looks like a modified version of a 1911. Well, I mean, it is. The only thing that's concerning me is the grip, but that could obviously just be a modified version. And that it takes 9mm, which only very recent models, like past the 2000s, in this game is set in 1996, past 2000 models of 1998s do. Otherwise, it would be a Browning high point. It could be a Browning, I'm not sure. But those weren't issued to U.S. military. Billy has a knife and a lighter. The lighter appears to be out of fuel. It's useless right now. So both of our items are useless. Also, you'd think the team medic would carry her, or she would carry some medicine with her. So, attack, idle, team. Okay. Yeah, that's good enough for now. Well, I suppose I should be wrapping up soon. A half-eaten meal sits on the table. We were almost a half-eaten meal. Continue along. See what on God's green earth is over here. This is the chair where that monster was sitting. It's covered in slime. Oh, that wasn't what I meant. Rebecca is not going in the lead. Billy should be up front because he can take damage. Oh, we're going through... There's a ladder here. Seems to lead up to the roof. Climb up the ladder? Yes. But what I was going to say is that I should probably be wrapping up the video right about now. Even if I don't save. Oh, you actually can move forward. Is this a good idea? It doesn't seem like a good idea. Let's go back. Why don't we? Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's working out too well at the moment, so I'm going to ignore it. Climb down the ladder, yes. So what I was going to suggest is, what I was going to talk about...
Roger.
No,
Come on.
stay here. So...
I'll go alone.
Roger.
So does she actually move independently, or does she just stay put? It looks like she just stays put. That's useful. Since you... So, like, if they're heavily damaged, you could just, like, drop them off in a safe room, tell them to stay there. That's smart. I like this. I like being able to have actually have control over your character like this. That's why I never had an issue with Ashley in Resident Evil 4, because she usually does what you tell her to. The only issue is if you're not smart about it, and you end up getting either of you hit. But, anyway, ending the video. So, I want to do this as a Halloween special because it's one of the last, or it is the last old school style Resident Evil game that I would be playing throughout the beginning completely blind, at least in part. I would like to do a full series on it someday. Maybe I'll play through the rest of this blind, I'm not sure. It really depends on what I'm feeling like. But, probably not. From what I can tell, it seems like it'll just be bad and it'll be a lot of suffering. So, it'll probably end up being like Star Fox 1, except worse. And less entertaining. Which is saying something. But, anyway. So yeah, that's probably going to be it for Resident Evil 0 on the channel for a while. At least it'll be the end of it on the channel blind. But, there are, I would like to return to the game and show off it and the rest of the Resident Evil series when I'm more. Looks like an automatic door. Okay, so we do need to go up top, so that when I'm more familiar with the game, so it's bearable to watch and I don't suck as much. And because I do want to show the game the respect that it deserves, but I want to do this video to satisfy what it's like to see how bad I really am at these games. We didn't get too much horror, though I did start to freak out a little bit with that leech guy because I don't like him. Don't like him at all. Especially because I was low on health. But, and then, aside from that, another reason why I can't do it right away is because I'd also want to present it in the best or in one of the best ways I could possibly do it, and that's through the Resident Evil 0 remaster, which I do not have at the moment. But, and let me actually turn down the volume a little bit because originally I didn't have access to a way to play the Resident Evil 0 remaster, and thus I couldn't get you that beautiful 1080p version of this instead of the 480p you're being subjected to right now. However, earlier today, in fact, on October 26th, they announced that Resident Evil 0 remaster, the Resident Evil Remake remaster, which is a good game that you should play, and Resident Evil 4, a part of that, which is also a very good game that you should play. It's one of the most influential games of the GameCube era, and it's also one of the best games of the GameCube era, are all coming to the Switch in 2019. That does not mean the game will be coming in 2019 on the channel, but it will open up the opportunity for that to happen. And I don't have any qualms about not recording it at 60 frames per second, because supposedly the only way you can do that is on the through the PC, and that would delay it like literally for years. But that is good news, and no, I already had the idea to do this video before the announcement of Resident Evil 0 remake, Resident Evil 0 remaster coming out on Switch. And if you don't believe me, go check the update video that was posted a while ago that coincided with The Simpsons. I talk about it there. I talk about the idea of doing this one off there. It just so happened that on the weekend I was going to do it, they announced news about it coming to the Switch, which is good news for me. But if you want to play the game for yourself, Resident Evil 0, I mean, as I'm wrapping up here, you can either... Yeah, I'll go back down. Or you can watch Billy's butt for a while, because I can't figure out how to move. But if you want to play Resident Evil 0 Remake for yourself, you can either do the GameCube version like I'm playing. It was re-released on the Wii, which is how I was originally going to buy it, but this version ended up coming across me first, and it was only $10, so not bad. And then the remastered version is available, I think, in 720p on the Xbox 360 and PS3, and then a 1080p version is available on PC, PS4, Xbox One, and as I just mentioned, Switch in 2019. So, yeah. Well, we'll stay here in this wreckage of a room. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, it doesn't do the thing like Resident Evil 2 does. Does it? It does not.